And we back.
There it
What it
is.
do? What it do? What it do, everybody?
What it do?
We
Salute.
here and we back once again, like we say, salute to everybody that pays attention to
Salute.
hot topics. You know what I'm saying? So we here on a
Hot
beautiful
topics, baby.
Friday, the week before
Yeah.
Father's Day. It's 1 week before Father's Day,
Oh yeah.
Gentleman's Day. You know what I'm saying? So we
Gentleman's
here.
Day. I like that. Gentleman's Day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So as usual, my co-host, my partner, my business partner, but niggas don't call each other best friends, but my guy, Mr.
There it is.
Einstein, double
We
salute
always
to
have a guy.
you.
We always have a guy. You my guy too. So it's like
You gotta
when
have a
motherfuckers
guy.
come in, what about this? You gotta have a guy.
You gotta have a guy. Cause
There it is.
that guy gonna take care of that guy.
There it is.
So
So
we
man,
just
what you cooking up, man? What you cooking up? What's the subject for today, man? You know,
man,
what you got for the folk?
well today, man, we got the culture vultures, you know what I'm saying? So I just came up with a little bit something a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? Culture criticism.
Ooh,
Culture
culture
criticism.
vultures. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
like I always say, you know what I'm saying? Everybody love being black until it's time to be black.
There it
Um,
is. Ain't that the
so
goddamn truth?
with hot topics today, you know what I'm saying? We putting ourselves in positions that we need to oh goddamn. Oh shit, my bad.
What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened?
Passed
That look
out.
extreme.
Oh shit.
That look extreme. Yeah, man.
So we always talking about, we always talking about music and everything, but we gonna get into it. So what you think about what's going on, man? The game is tonight, Boston versus Golden State Warriors. So we
Yes,
always
sir.
we always thought about sports. So
Yeah.
who you pick for tonight?
I'm almost at the point where I'm drawn where it doesn't really matter. We know this is gonna go. This is gonna go game seven.
Mm,
It makes them
right,
more money. It's just gonna go game seven. I think that the most sophisticated thing that I can say is that Boston has always been known for their defense,
right.
and we've seen it through the series. Like these guys are phenomenal with defense. But this what I will say. This what I will say. Man, if they ain't got Marcus Smart or Al Horford, oh man,
Right,
it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
right.
And I get it. I get it. Tatum, he pretty, man. He pretty. I like everything he does is pretty. Like his shots. But Tatum is hurt.
Yeah,
And
that
most
that
of
shoulder,
us,
that
that shoulder,
shoulder.
come on, man. We can't ignore that shoulder. Like you can tell a difference. Like he ain't hitting them shots right off the bat. You know what I mean? Like that shoulder is really bothering him. And the on the point of Golden State when I watched them the other night, god damn. Like if you remember the young Chef Carey, that's what I call him, Chef.
Right.
Chef Carey. He was just bouty. Now you kind of look at him, he always looking like he tired. You ever
They
notice
all
that? He always looking like he tired, but the motherfucker score like 30, 40 points. It's like, oh, I
yeah,
get
they're
it.
they're they're older. They're 32. We're talking about a team that's in their 30s. We're talking about a team, so that's been in the league. They created a quote unquote dynasty. You got
Hmm.
Chef Curry, he's 32. You got Clay, he's what 31. You got
Yeah,
Draymond.
the
Everybody in
trifecta.
their 30s. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in their 30s. But then you playing against guys, you know what I'm saying? Like Jalen Brown is what 25, and we
Yeah.
forget that Jason Tatum is only 24.
And you're
And
absolutely right. You
Marcus Smart is
go
what
ahead.
28. Salute to him. He from Dallas. Salute to you.
But this the thing, man. Marcus Smart has been in the playoffs since his rookie year.
Yeah. Salute
So
to
when you think about
Oklahoma State.
salute D Town, when you think about Marcus Smart and you think about the things he could bring to the table, good name, Marcus Smart, because he moves really intelligently. But this is the thing though. What makes me fear Golden State is the fact that you got the same triangle that's been growing together.
Hmm.
They're not old, but they put a lot of years together. So they know like if Clay don't hit, okay, you got Chef. If Chef don't hit, then you got the Joker. And I ain't gonna lie, man. In this playoffs, I've always been crazy about Draymond Green, and I used to tell you about it. I'm like, Draymond Green is so cold as a point guard because of just the way he wreaked havoc. And he started talking shit right off the bat, right off the jump. Draymond Green is getting in their head, and that's the kind of guy you need. And to me, I think that long as they got Draymond Green
Hmm.
doing his thing, Golden State gonna win.
Well, this is what I say. You know what I'm saying? You have Draymond Green right now. He's not focused. You know, he's really
How's
not.
that? How is
Well,
that?
because one, he's more in tune with his podcast. He has a podcast for TNT. So right now, you have to be focused in the finals. You can't be on your podcast. My opinion, as a coach and as a player, I shut everything down
Gotcha.
every day. You know what I'm saying? Right now, this is a whole different mind. We're talking about the NBA finals. We're talking about Boston. You know what I mean? We're not talking about Cleveland. Cleveland crowd is not the same as Cleveland and Toronto. When you use any finals, they're not the same.
Right.
Boston is a whole different animal.
And
Whole
what
different
makes
animal.
them a different animal is, I think, only because of their defense. Like the way they block shots from behind. Okay, instead of going forward like most teams, and they got to worry about the angle they jump in.
Right.
Well, Celtics is like, I'm gonna jump at it, but then I'm gonna go behind you, and then I can go any angle I want. Brilliant. Williams
Yeah.
is just a beast. The way he reacts,
Right.
and so what I'm saying with that is they should have beat that last game. But when you talk about the triangle and what they've been through, Draymond Green, and don't make come on, let's be real. Don't think that Clay Thompson and Chef Carey don't know that they got a joke on their hands. And the dude that changes the tone in a championship is
Draymond.
Draymond Green.
And he has a great
Draymond started talking shit and he started getting up in dudes' heads. And he's gotten so good to where you see him talking shit to the referees and you're like, man, shut up, man. You're going to get a tech. He don't
right.
get a tech. He don't get
Nope.
a tech.
Nope. You're right about
He
that.
knows how to play that line.
Right. I totally agree. 100%, brother.
And yeah. So it's like, all right. Um, but let's be real. We talking about Draymond Green. That shit that Clay Poole did the other night, shooting half court,
Hmm.
shooting at the buzzer. He even made Chef like, damn, like what the fuck?
Well,
Like I was
as as an analyst, I look at it like this: like game one, we want to thank. Well, first of all, we want to thank everybody that's coming online right now. We want to thank
appreciate
everybody.
you.
We salute to you.
Salute.
But keep in mind, game one, he didn't do anything. Game two, if you pay attention, as an analyst, as a coach, and everything, I was doing film study today. Like I'm the coach,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm one of the coaches today, so I had enough time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pay attention, Clay Poole didn't start balling until they was up like what 15 points. You know what I mean?
Right,
Game
right. Then
three,
you just drop it.
yeah. So game three, when they behind everything, like the stage is too big for him. I look at it. Me personally, Steve Kerr needs to make adjustments to this game. He need to put in younger players because Draymond has lost his step. That's why
Okay.
Jalen Brown is like, nah, let's go one on one. You can't get this.
Okay.
Um,
Now you brought up. We have to stop there.
Okay.
I only say that because I thought I was the only one that was like, Curry is a Hall of Famer
Oh yeah, all of them, all three of them.
with the
Curry.
with the Bulls of the '80s, right?
Yeah,
Curry is
bro.
just Hall
Bro,
of Famer.
we talking about they was what 70, 73 and 9. They beat the Bulls record at 72
Ridiculous.
and 10. Yeah. But they still lost to
And Curry,
LeBron.
and Curry played to the Bulls, played with the Bulls, right? During
Yeah.
Jordan time.
Yeah, Steve
Curry
Kerr.
was the 3-point shooter. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. 72 and 10.
So
Yes,
when you
sir.
think about that, you think about like Curry really hasn't made many adjustments.
No, you're right.
And it makes you wonder, like, what the fuck?
You're right. You're
He
absolutely
just
correct.
kept it the same. He'd
Yep.
get up, he'd say a couple of things, and then he'd sit back down.
Yes, sir. That's why I
And he
say
just let him go ahead.
no, that's why I say big shout out to Mark Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Because Mark
Mm,
Jackson
mm.
created that team. Mark Jackson created the
Which
Golden State.
supposedly he was going to be a head coach.
Well, he was the head
Now
coach.
he was going,
He was the
yeah,
head coach for Golden State, and then they
yeah.
fired Mark Jackson, and they brought Steve Curry in. Like I say all the time, Steve Kerr he jumped in a Ferrari and put the top down and drove it because that was Mark Jackson team.
I like, I like it, I like it. But we know Mark Jackson is more conservative.
Yeah,
He's more,
and
fundamental.
and that right there it segues into to the concept of the fact that you love being black until it's time to be black. You know what I'm saying? The cultural criticism.
Ooh,
That's why it's segue because let's be honest,
yes, sir.
they take our culture and benefit to them. When was it?
Because we so
When was
because we
the
so free.
yeah? When was the last time that you heard an Anglo? Let's just be real. When was the last time you heard a white man become successful without the help of a black man? There's no fucking way that a white man knew 11 herbs and spices. You know what I mean?
11 herbs and spices. I'm
No,
telling you, the only
no,
way they perfected, and we talk about Larry Bird. If you go back and you look at
no,
his highlight reel,
no. I'm talking
Larry Bird became ruthless when he came with the Celtics because the majority of the Celtics were what
black,
color,
white.
and
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
he embraced it and became ruthless. He wasn't afraid to fight. He wasn't
No.
afraid to. So hell yeah, the
So
fight. Yeah,
so
go ahead.
when I say that, you know, like I said, I go back to say that the fact when was the last time that you heard a white man, you know, have success as cooking fried chicken, 11 herbs and spices. So we know a
Come
black
on,
man
you
created.
gonna say that? You gonna
Oh
say
yeah,
that?
I'm gonna tell you.
Colonel, Colonel Sanders.
Come on now.
Colonel Sanders.
There's
Oh,
no
fuck
way.
you, okay? You remember your brother did that little skit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
15 years I've been waiting on you. Anyway, but when you think about that, that's a good subject you're saying. When you think about that, most of the coaches back in the day were what color? White. So you
Right.
think about how now that majority of NBA coaches are black, you think about okay, okay, good subject. Think about hot topic. Think
Hmm.
about Celtics coach. He's a rookie when you talk about all the way
Right.
across the board,
Right.
but they're in the finals. So when you think about black coaches and their way of coaching guys,
Hmm.
I just think that because it was always a stigma in the old basketball world that black coaches were more offensively than defensively. Well, that has changed.
Right. I mean, if you pay attention, majority of the black coaches in the league of the NBA, they were players before. You got Chauncey Billup, you got Coach U, you
Yeah,
got
yes, sir.
Tyronn Lue.
Tyrone Lewis, another one and what's coming when you look at their way of playing is they're more defensive.
Right. More
They
defense
have defensive background, and most of the time when they take over a team, they become very powerful defensively.
defensively.
Yeah, it is.
You got a Lakers coach. You got Darvin Ham. I've been knowing Darvin Ham for years
Okay,
personally.
let's talk about the teams that don't get as much credit when you talk about Atlanta's coach. When you talk about um, okay, let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks.
Jason
Dallas
Kidd.
Mavericks became a
Jason Kidd.
huge defensive team because of Jason Kidd, where Jason Kidd started from college with who?
San Francisco.
Dallas Mavericks.
Yep.
No, he started with Dallas.
Not his rookie year. Right. His rookie year. His rookie year.
He
He
didn't
got
start with
drafted.
Dallas.
Yeah, his rookie year he got drafted by Dallas.
Yeah, and then you had Jason Mashburn. I mean, you had
Oh,
Mashburn, and you had man, I forgot the other dude name. Yeah, Jason Kidd, Mashburn,
and
and
what's my guy's
oh,
name?
forgot his name.
From
He,
Ohio State.
yeah, he was a badass shooter.
What's my guy's name? Man,
Mashburn.
no, it wasn't Massburn. It was see, I said the producing right now. Hold on, this is production right.
But them three were cold. And so, and they was rookies. So what I'm saying is okay, we know this for a fact. It's almost like hockey. I don't know, most of my black people's like, hockey. Yeah, hockey's exciting if you learn the rules. If you have three dudes on the team, a triangle, then there's a strong possibility you can win a championship. There's a strong possibility. Even if we
Jimmy,
go back
Jimmy
to the
Jackson.
years of, go ahead.
That's his name.
Even,
Jimmy Jackson.
yeah, even if we, Steve Nash, his years in Dallas, even if we go back and we say, well, you only got five guys on the field. If you at least got three stars, because it's odd, you automatically bet wise, you get the flow, right?
Right.
So when you think about Golden State, what was powerful about them when they played Celtics the last time before this game is Kurt, the chef, he played kind of low key. He didn't take risk. Draymond Green was being aggressive like a motherfucker. And
Hmm.
then, Clay was kind of like, I'm gonna take my shots when they give it to me.
Right.
It almost seemed like that was an act. Second half, it was aggressive like a motherfucker. Chef started cooking up some shit.
Hmm.
And then Claypool, listen, he shot a half court shot that shouldn't have went in,
Right.
but
Right.
it did. And he did like Michael Jordan when Michael Jordan played against the Blazers and he was shooting half court. And they looked at him. And he looked at the camera. He was like, I don't know why it's going in.
Right.
Claypool became, Claypool. I'm sorry. Poole became this guy where he get ignited and he hit it. Well, because he's not starting.
Right.
And
I
if you're
agree.
not starting, you don't have the pressure of schemes and this and that. Listen, that pick and roll, we have to admit, Golden State have mastered the pick and roll. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
I agree because once again, like I say, in order to have perfection, you got to know where perfection comes from.
Yes,
And
sir.
Steve Kerr is one. He learned from two of the best coaches in the league. One is from
Scotty.
uh, no coaches. One
Yeah.
is Phil Jackson.
Oh, Phil Jackson. Got you.
He won
Got
three
you.
with Phil Jackson, and then he
Phil
won
Jackson.
two. Then he won two with Greg Popovich,
San Antonio Hall of Famer.
San Antonio Hall of Famer. Yeah. So,
How many rings did they win? Like it's like, God damn, we can't beat San Antonio.
but like you just said, how you know what I'm saying, as a coach or a student of the game, the pick and pop was best known by Timmy Duncan. Mr. Fundamental.
Mr. Fundamental.
Yeah.
That was.
So
That
it
was.
so it was one of the biggest contributor to the Tim Duncan is for me hands down the greatest
One of
uh
the greatest centers in the game.
power force, right? One of the greatest power
And
force.
it's real what you said. His position was power forward, but he was so killer as a center.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, he was a crossover like Robinson.
Yeah.
He learned from Robinson.
David Robinson, right? He learned how to
And
be finesse
and
with his
David
ball.
Robinson was a beast.
Oh
Oh
man,
my
man, what
God.
you say there? What you
He was
say?
a beast, dude. Like, damn, how many rebounds he got? Oh man. Dave Robinson was a beast. Still look good. Still look good. They showed him the other
Oh.
day. It's like, oh man, Dave Robinson still look good.
So, like I said, so right now it segues into the fact that our criticism, our culture criticism,
Gotcha.
um, as African Americans, you know what I'm saying, as black men, if you have talent, like you have to have, like you have to have talent in order to be, um, you gotta either sing, dance, tap dance, anything like that, just to have a voice. And that's the reason, one of the reasons why I wanted to create this hot topics, you know what I'm saying, is because I want
Mhm.
to bring on different artists. Yeah, that's all y'all that's all what we do. We produce, you know what I'm saying? We sleep by production, we live by production, we write, but we want to have a voice as well.
Cultural is heritable.
Okay.
So if you have a cultural idea of your identity, then it's usually something that was passed on from you from the elders.
Okay.
So I like where you're going. It was like a cultural, basically identity crisis. I'm not saying like the way you saying it, but the way you said it, you put it perfect. I'm just synonyming, right?
Right.
So to say culturally, it was always looked at that the center is just made to get rebounds. No, they blocking shots like it ain't shit. Like they defending, they crossing over dude. I mean, Giannis is crossing over dudes.
Wow.
This dude is 7 foot tall.
Wow.
Embiid
Right.
is just something fun to watch.
It
And
is.
when you look at these, that the NBA is evolving to where you can have height, you can have size, and still have speed and skill.
Right.
And we're seeing now in our time, I never seen this before, where you got 7 foot basketball players crossing over dudes, crossing over dudes,
Right. And
posting
shooting
up.
and shooting 3 pointers.
There it is. You're like, what the fuck? Fall back, fade away. Like, what? This is a 7 foot dude doing this. So the game has truly evolved.
Not only the game, but just life in period. Think about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we as a culture, that's why I call this show today culture criticism,
Yeah.
because they will find something wrong what we do in our culture,
Ain't that the truth?
no matter what. I mean, you can be the number one R&B artist. The reason why I got into as the people listen today, you know what I'm saying? For me personally, and it's not about me, but the reason why I got into music is because of Stein, of because of Hawk, because he brought a different culture to not just to music, but to as far as production and also engineering. I never met a guy in my life to this day that can sing a song, write a song, produce a song, and engineer a song.
Here you go. You had to reveal that.
That's
All
the
right.
culture. That's the culture. But yet it's still he still get criticized as for the music and the production as he is. So the music is easy. Music is easy to do. We we go to sleep singing music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. True. True.
But what is the words that you're listening to for my culture? I'm trying to tell you something or be something better than what I am on my music. My
Right. The music is my vent.
right.
How you translate it
There you
is not
go.
my job to try and be an advocate for.
There you go. There you go.
Right. And that's where a lot of artists get in trouble is they translate music how they feel, and then now, oh shit, hit the fan. Now they got it. Then now they turn to this advocate of explaining why they did what they did. It's
Right.
like you ain't in the court of law.
Right.
You ain't gonna explain shit.
Right. Because my creativity, because the creativity is it's called create. It's called being a creator. That's why I always say with the creator, there's creativity. Who would have thought that the creator would have created a mankind which is creative?
Man, that's deep what you just said. I bet you can't say it again.
The creator created somebody that was creative.
So he did it again. I'm glad fuck, he did it so easily. Like I'm glad I bet on that.
the
You're right. The
creator
creator created somebody that
someone
was creative.
creative.
Hey, what it say? I made man in my likeness, not in my necessary necessity.
The
I
necessity.
made man in what I like to do.
Let us hold on. Think about this. Think about
Oh,
it. This is what it says. Let
uh,
us make man in
mm-mm.
our image.
Image. There you go.
Let us. So who is us? There it
Who
is.
is us? Has
That,
to be an organization.
that's the underlying word. You can't argue with
Yeah, it's more than one. That's for sure.
that.
It,
Let
it
us.
ain't one proprietary dictator that's just no. Say let us make man. That's a group of folk.
That's a
That's
group.
a collective attitude to solve and build something.
Right. The
And
the
yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
what you know the original Bible is the good book says in the word it says God was having a meeting
Okay.
among his council.
Oh man, you went deep. You went deep.
So
Why do you need a council?
so because he was having a business meeting.
And why do you need to have a business meeting? Because
Hey, come on.
there always is going to be. I'm glad you brought this up. No matter how powerful you are, there's always going to be a level of check and balances when you're dealing with somebody that's lesser than you.
Come on.
You don't have to check and balance if you're equal. You got 50 million. I got
Right.
50 million. Why we got check and balance?
Right.
We don't. We even. But when you talk about presenting an idea and then saying, man, that's brand new. Yeah. So we gotta govern that.
You got to govern.
We gotta govern it. We gotta come up with some type of schematic.
That's a board meeting.
There it is, a board meeting. Perfect.
Yeah. That's a board meeting.
And everybody throw in their little tidbits, and then who's ever in charge, they listen to everybody tidbits if they legit, and they say, okay, this the Pokemon, this the hybrid
Right.
of what we're gonna do,
Check this
and
out.
it's a merger of everybody's idea. Go ahead.
That's boy, brother. That is so beautiful. Once again, we want to thank everybody for being online right now. We salute you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Salute. Thank you for everybody.
Salute.
You can always go to qisrich@gmail.com. Plug yourself in, Stein. What's your email address?
Listen, just go to Q is rich. I dare you. I double dog dare you, and see what we got popping off.
Yeah, Music
Big,
at gmail.com as well.
there it is.
You know what I'm saying? Any questions or concerns, if you need help, keep in mind right now, this is a mental health month and we want to make sure that everybody's good. Make sure everybody's good.
Sure, everybody's compensated. Yes, yes, sir.
The mental health, because mental health and depression is real. So we want to take time out to our people. Just know that if you need somebody to talk to or however, I get emails all the time. We want to thank you for tuning in. We love you. You know what I'm saying?
And
We
and
thank
and, and I just want to throw in, even if we can't jump on your subject, even if we can't go toe to toe with you, at least we have the main idea.
you. Right.
And the main idea is mental health. And it was just becoming a serious problem in our country.
It
Now,
is.
this is the thing.
It
We
is.
ain't telling you that we're gonna have the answer. But the one thing we can tell you is we will listen.
We will listen
That
because
is.
being a friend, being a friend is most important than being an enemy.
Mm, mm.
Being a friend is most important than being an enemy. So going back to what we're saying, you know, I love referencing life to what what the enemy said, right? So, like I
Yep.
said, I go back. It says that the Bible, the good book says that God was having a meeting among his council, and then the enemy came to heaven, interrupted the meeting. Think about that, Lucifer. So
Yeah.
he came on the elevator, bing. You know, he going upstairs.
Which means,
He got access.
dirty. Listen, you said it before I can say it. You brought up some man. I mean, you finna start some fires. The fact he was invited, which means he was a heavy player.
Yeah,
And this what was really weird. This one it gets weird.
right.
It was weird enough when he showed up late. But
Late.
when he showed up, God says to him, "Hey,
What,
what you doing?
what are you doing?
Yeah, what you
Why you here? Why's you
yeah,
here?
what
And the enemy
you
like,
invited me.
you
You
invited me.
invited me.
I got the
Like what?"
memo.
And so what the devil does, the devil becomes a smart ass. So God said, "What you doing?" And the devil becomes a smart ass, like,
You invited me,
"I'm seeking hearing from,
who I can destroy.
becoming," and we say, devouring who I may, taking
Destroy.
who I may devour. I am doing what I am programmed to do.
I'm doing my
And
job.
I'm doing my job
I'm
and
doing my
I'm
job.
balancing out things. Now, everybody else looking at me that are superficial and they don't know that, motherfucker, you invited me.
This is my job.
It's my
This,
job.
this is what you designed me to do.
I'm going to
And,
show up late. You
and
already know
then
that.
and then the Almighty, the Creator said, "Well, have you considered my servant Job?"
Which is a bet.
And the enemy said, "Nah,
No, he
not
didn't say no.
really."
He didn't
Did
say
he?
no. He didn't say no.
Okay,
What the enemy said was, you got a hedge around him.
right.
eBay was saying,
Maybe.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I know you prospect. I've been trying to get at this motherfucker, but you keep protecting his ass. And that's where the bet come. I can't believe you brought this up. This is the most confusing part of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
He said, have you considered my servant Job?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the devil says, take the hedge from him. Other words, that's some balls type of shit. That's like we testing each other's testosterone, right? Take the hedge away from him, and I'll show you what I can do.
Right. Right.
And the fact that God in that Old Testament said, bet.
Bet. Put money on it.
I won't protect him no more. I'm gonna show you how cold do this. So once he took the hedge from him,
Okay.
Job family dies.
His
His
children.
wife cursed him
Right.
and saying, curse your God and die.
Die.
Well, she was looked at as bad, but when you think about it, back then during that system, there was only two states of uh employment status, and it was rich or poor. And it
Mm-hmm.
was based on your husband.
Mm-hmm.
So the wife who had been dedicated said, seeing him look like he gonna die of cancer, says, I'm gone.
But pay attention to
Curse
this
your God,
and die.
curse your God and die. Dude,
You sound like a
I've been
foolish
dedicated.
woman. You sound like a
There it is.
foolish woman. But hold on. But think about this. So at what point you listen to what I'm saying? At what point did the enemy say, "I'm done with this"? Now this is between you and God. You know what I mean? This is between y'all.
Well, it's hard to say that when you was invited to a party, and then God acts like he don't know why you was there. It was because you was invited. And so then
I
he
like
asks you a
that.
question so that you can introduce your motive,
I like that.
right? So, hey, what you here for? Like he didn't know. We believe that whoever that's God is all knowing. Let me
Right.
say it again. All knowing.
Right.
Okay. So you
So
knew he was gonna show up.
right.
So when he showed up, because he got invited, this is what we don't want to realize. He got invited. He had other things to do. He got invited. So then when he showed up, God was like, "All right, everybody's here. Hey, what you here for?" And
Yeah.
look what he does. He brags. He said, "I come as a lion,
This is not your party. Yep.
searching here and there." And then God said, "This is in that story." God didn't say, "Bullshit, you lying." He says, "Who are you going after now?"
Right.
And he said, "Your servant Job. I'm bored. Like I went after everybody else and they failed, but I'm going after the person you keep protecting. I'm going after your servant Job." And then that's when God says, in other banner, he says, "Have you considered my servant Job?" Uh, that was the writer.
So so let's
I tell anybody.
let's move forward, right? We're talking about
Okay.
this because, like I said, it's culture once again that falls into culture criticism, right? The creator said,
True.
"You, I'm gonna invite you to this party. You got RSVP to the party.
Right.
Bring your best. Bring your best, and I want you to be the star of this party. And then once
Right.
you get to the party, hey, I need to get in. Listen, listen. If I got a VIP, and the bounce is like, you're not on the list because think about it.
Right. Right. He
Think
ain't
about
even on the list.
it. He's not
Like,
even on
who
the
is
list.
you?
Think about it because it no longer became about the enemy. It became between a
Status.
quote. No, it became a, how can I say? It became a quote unquote something between him and God because now you talk to your friends. Oh, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. So why would God take everything away from me? Why would the creator, I didn't say God, why would the creator take everything from me? And then I don't this and this is where everything changes. Why I say this is where the enemy was like, oh, what y'all got going on, I'm not even in that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm not even invited to this party. So when
Why?
once the creator said, stand counsel, that became it.
Now
Stand
that's
counsel.
that. Now, I'm probably gonna piss people off.
Okay.
It show you how premeditated this was.
Come on now.
Stand cancel. Really? So that's like saying play along with it. And the devil wouldn't. He kept talking shit. And so this thing was in this council, and this was during Job time. And Job, to my Christian people, Job, if you date it, Job is older
Hmm.
than Genesis.
Right. Exactly.
When you talk about Job, Enoch, and them the guys, right?
Right.
So the fact that it was put as a challenge, it was almost as if God was bored. He said, "Okay, I eliminated the crazy
Ooh.
alien shit. Okay, now I'm trying to see what's up. Okay, I got this." Why would he consider a dude to go through shit?
Hmm.
I said this to a homegirl, and well, we're not friends no more. But I was really stating the truth. I said, "Listen, why would God voluntarily introduce a dude who had things going right? He had his wife, he had his kids. You realize that he lost all of it?
Everything.
His kids got killed.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I think at one point the Bourne collapsed while
Collapse.
they was trying to do some a favor for their dad, and they
Killed,
get killed.
killed all his kids. Yep.
And the wife had enough. She said, "Curse your God and die."
Die. And
Like
then,
it
and
ain't enough.
then
It ain't enough to say curse your God, but when you say die, it's like nigga, I'm done.
I'm done. Every woman been there. Every woman been there.
I'm done, man. I've seen you go through enough. I
Once
went
again,
along with it, but once our kids got killed, it's like, oh no.
once again, that's culture criticism.
There it is.
It goes back. See,
Yes, sir.
the creator said, stand counsel. Like, why,
Ooh,
why is you complaining?
right.
Did you have you been there when I created the equators of the earth? See, this is where the part where the creator want to show himself off. It was this party was never this surprise party. It was for Job, but it was never about the about. It was always about the creator. Think about that.
Yes, sir.
The enemy was like, "Oh, this is not my party. I'm not even invited to this. I was invited. I can't even get in. I'm not even VIP." But it was about the creator saying, "Were you there when I created the equator of the earth? Were you there with the morning dew?" See, that's how articulate. Once again, I guess let's go back to the culture creator
Yeah.
because the Almighty to want to show His power. What I can do. We brag as men. We brag as humans because let us once again go back to let us make man in our image.
Us.
Check this out. I tell
Just want to
people
throw that out there. Us.
I tell people I tell people all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's the great thing about it. When Jesus, no, I'm not gonna say Jesus. When the Christ came to the earth, he never lost. The Christ never lost. Even as a baby, even as 14, when his friend fell off the roof and everything, and he died. When he went into the in front of the Jewish community, the Christ has never lost. Peace, be still. He's never lost. He's a champion. But do you know the only time when he lost?
No, what was that? I mean, I do know my opinion, but I like to hear yours. What's that?
When he's at the table and he said that somebody is going to betray me.
I don't know about that one.
Now think about it. Think about it.
The Dead Sea Scrolls show that he was good friends with Judas and kind of like he played this whole thing. He premeditated. Okay,
Right,
for instance, when you go back to the Bible, Judas was busy eating. He was
right,
having a good time. And
right,
then
right.
Christ
It's
looked at him and said, basically gave him a signal like, let what is done need to be done.
done.
And they said that Judas went into a trance
Right. The spirit.
and then he left.
It said the spirit came upon him.
There it is.
That's when he lost. Think about this. Check this out. Check it out, Stein. When he lost was, hey, 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 why y'all sleep? That's the first time you ever heard Christ being afraid. Hey, y'all wake up. Y'all wake up. I'm
Well,
praying.
I think that that story shows the greatest deal of redemption. And we don't hear that much in that story. I think it happened a lot, but it wasn't wrote. What I mean by that is what we forget is before the Garden of Gethsemane,
Okay. Right.
is that Christ told Peter and them, arm
Don't go to
yourself,
sleep. Don't go
arm
to
yourself.
sleep. But he
No,
told
no,
him,
I'm saying before then, he said, arm yourself. And Peter was a zealot. He was in charge of the zealots. That's why he can cut a dude ear off without the dude responding. We talking about a sword.
right,
It's hard to do that. So Christ had told them, arm yourself. Basically, like in our day and time, get your guns,
right.
load them up. And Peter was like, I'm down. And so he was like, what we doing? And Christ said, I want you to go into town, and there's gonna be a donkey reserved for me. Okay, what we gonna do? Go
Right.
to that dude that got the donkey and tell him this donkey is for the Son of Man.
Right. Right.
And the dude relinquished the donkey. And so they bring the donkey back armed with their swords to Christ so that
Right.
he can ride on the donkey in front of the people.
Because
Now,
he was a Messiah because he's the militant one. We talked about
he's
that.
the militant one. Now, this is my thing I was saying to some Catholics. I
Okay.
said, listen, y'all on religion, I'm on divinity. And they was like, what that mean? I said, look at this. If I was to be a lawyer,
Hmm.
a prosecutor, they said, yeah, how the fuck Rome was ruthless? How the fuck there was a star above a manger that shined bright and only certain people saw it? King Herod wanted this dude dead,
Yeah. He winning.
but he couldn't find him. Matter of fact, it was so crucial about this is that the Magi who spent all that time with him, they went a different route home.
Yep. Even the three
Why you go a different route if you
the,
Gucci?
even the three wise men came and he's still winning.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you, Jimmy, think about this. Listen to this last part
Okay.
because it sounds beautiful, and we always get thrown by beautiful shit.
I know. Beautiful.
What we don't realize is beautiful shit makes a lot of noise. You mean tell me there was a star posted over his manger, and none of the Roman soldiers saw it, who was declared to kill this so-called king that was coming
Right.
when it was packed? Because Caesar said we need to account for everybody that's there, right? So Caesar called a census. Herod, who was the governor, told the mayor, who was Pilate, he said, "Okay, we got to count everybody." See, okay, let me be honest. The only reason why Mary had the baby in Jerusalem wasn't because of her; it was because of Joseph. And why is that?
Because he
Because
was
Joseph was of the lineage of who?
yeah,
David.
yeah. He was a
And
Jewish.
he was the lineage of David, and Caesar said everybody has to return to their hometown. Back then, you went off the mill, the dad.
Mm-hmm.
So it just so happened that when this happened, Joseph was like, okay, we got to return back. We've got to be accounted for, but you're 9 months pregnant. So guess what he did?
Mm-hmm.
He said, we're going to go by donkey because caravan is violent. You will
Mm-hmm.
lose the baby.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
That's why there was no room in the inn.
Because
That's
everybody.
why there's no room in the inn. The town of Jerusalem was packed. And this is what I'm saying to you. If this wasn't some special shit, divinity, how is it that the town was packed and nobody else saw this star that was just hovering over the manger?
Mm.
A manger where cows, pigs, got me?
I got
Only a certain amount of people saw it.
you. Mm.
A couple of shepherd boys, the magi, a couple people saw it. How are y'all the only ones to see it when Rome was looking for this dude who was
Mm.
a baby? Right or wrong?
No, you're right. Well, one because the thing about it, you have to pay attention to the season, right?
Okay, the
Because
season.
we talked about that December 25th. No, if you remember, if you know the Roman law and everything. In between February, March, and April, that's when the Roman citizens shut everything down. They celebrate everything. So that's why he's considered as the aquarium of Christ.
And the only reason why he's considered the Aquarium of Christ is because we are the product of Rome, right?
Okay.
We file our taxes during February, January, during the
Come on, man.
fiscal
Come
year.
on. Come on, man. The money season. So that's like what I'm saying. There was
Yes,
no
sir.
you look for him because we in money season.
Right.
We're in money
That's why
season.
everybody had to be accounted for.
Yeah, the
How
census.
much money we gonna do? We ain't gonna be barbaric like the Egyptians, and we ain't gonna go through and say
Man,
we're gonna
come
kill all the
on, man. Come
firstborn
on,
and we're
man.
gonna eliminate the poor,
Come
right?
on, man.
We gonna,
What do you
so
say?
what we
Let
do,
let my birthday is my birthday. Y'all worried about that. It's my birthday. Do unto Caesar's was do unto Caesar, and do
there it
unto
is.
God was do unto God.
Oh, come on with it.
Quit playing with me.
And you saying that this baby is gonna grow up and be greater than me? Herod, the tyrant, was not a joke.
No,
Like
no,
this
sir.
dude had his house in a mountain. You know what I'm saying?
Come
Like
on,
you
man.
look that shit historically. Like this dude was not a joke. So that's why the wise men. Hold on, watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
Yeah.
Pilate, who fell in love with Jesus, because Jesus was in prison for a little bit. A lot of people don't know that. And
Hmm.
Pilate bought in because he got a special letter from his wife, which said what?
Let him go.
This man is innocent. I had a dream that this man is innocent.
Yep.
And Pilate tried to save Jesus on a Saturday by saying, hey, we got to let somebody go. This is Sabbath. We
Yep.
can't leave y'all hanging on the cross because it's a Sabbath. The Jews are going to come in, they're going to worship.
Yep.
If they see Jews hanging, we got something to deal with.
Yep. We need
So
somebody to
that's
be the
why,
sacrifice.
right? That's why on a Sabbath, they would always let them down. And that's, watch this. A lot of my black people don't know this. That's why they poked him in the side.
Mm-hmm.
All this where the poking in the side was so spectacular. No, it wasn't. It was the Roman soldiers saying, this dude ain't moving. Why?
Right.
We got to bring him down on Saturday. So they poked him in the side. He didn't move. They poked him again. He didn't move. And they was like, oh shit, I think he's dead. How do you die from crucifixion in 24 hours? It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Crucifixion is made for you to asphyxiate, which means
To suffer.
you're going to suffocate
Mm-hmm.
because where they place your arms, that's why the image that we see of Christ being on the cross, that was not how he died. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That wasn't how the Romans did it. When they crucified him, they nailed them to the cross up high and then tied them. Why? So they couldn't escape.
Right.
Because after a while, pain gets neutral, and you'll just rip your hand from the nails.
Right.
But they had his arms up high. Why? So you asphyxiate. What does asphyxiate mean? You can't breathe oxygen. You basically die from not being able to breathe enough oxygen.
Right.
Same as what the European women was going through when they had them corsets. Remember that shit? And they was tying that shit so tight, just trying to get a figure that they was passing out in
Right.
public. Passing out in public because the corset was so tight. That's the way they did the men. And the fact that when the soldiers brought everybody down before the Sabbath, then they realized Christ was really dead. So they poked him just to make sure. Because you can't run back to your superior and say, I think this dude dead. You think.
Right.
Yeah.
I need to know.
So what did you do? Man, we poked this dude in the side. He bleeding everything. What? He didn't move. He didn't sound nothing. So he dead for real. Yeah, he dead. Oh, this is a problem.
But he didn't, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't pour blood. What was water?
Why?
If I'm not
And
mistaken.
that freaked the Romans out. The Roman soldiers was like, man, we think this dude is something special. Like he's like an alien or something.
Right.
Because we poked him and mainly water came out. Matter of fact, he gave up his own spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Crucifixion don't kill you in 24 hours.
No.
Look it up, homie.
I
Guarantee
don't
it don't.
because I heard what you said because there was two robbers
Oh,
There were two robbers, and then
oh.
one robber was like, "No, no, no, go ahead, I'm good, man."
No, no, no. Keep going. You was on point.
One robber was like, if you're really the son of God, if you're really the militant one, you will come down. You will have your father to come down and save us.
And free you. Yeah, save us.
But the other
Why would you
robber,
suffer like this?
right? But the other robber was like, "Whoa, we deserve to be here.
Right. He
We
don't.
deserve, he does not. What has he done?" That's why I say that was the first time that the Christ has ever lost. Even at the
And I'm
Garden of Gethsemane, even hold on, check this out, son. He like the even at the 40 when he fed the 5,000 right with
right.
the fish and the bread, he still won. Even when he
I
40
I think
days
the
and 40
only
nights.
I, I think the only problem with that was it's a beautiful story to preach on. It's a beautiful story to talk on.
Hmm.
But what it really showed was how alien he was. The
Hmm.
fact that he had his most loyal subjects and he kept telling them to stay awake. And Peter and them kept falling asleep. And they said that he was sweating so bad that
That's
he was sweating
blood.
blood.
That's
Human
my
beings
point.
don't do that.
That's
Human
my
beings don't
point.
do that.
That's exactly my point. In the garden, even in the
And he kept
garden,
saying, "Wake up, wake up, wake up." And
right?
they kept falling asleep.
Right. That was my point. That's exactly my point is that the fact that even in the because the enemy did not come to him, the enemy did not come here as the enemy, but once again, the enemy because it's first man, the enemy came to him as a first man, as a serpent,
Mhm.
and the enemy came back to him as a second man, as a serpent again. That's why he said he crushed his head.
This was crazy about this. Is Christ never in our stories confronted the enemy in a snake form.
Until
See,
that
that's
time.
not that's Gnostic. That's Kemet. Like,
Until,
be wise as serpent, harmless as a dove.
mhm. Okay.
We what's unknown is we don't even know the form of the enemy when he approached Christ and said, "Throw yourself down."
Well,
For
no,
it's accounted unto you that the angels is going to not let you die.
that was the 40 days and 40 nights when he was in the
Right.
garden. I mean,
That was the trial. That was the initiation.
he came
And
he, he
and
came to him he came to me as his brother because he
what
recognized.
I'm saying to you, what I'm saying to you is not the point of that. You're
Okay.
right. What I'm saying is the profile of the enemy.
Okay.
There was no instigation or profile of what form he was in, he or she.
Mm.
See, in
Mm.
Genesis, it was a snake. But when it came across Christ, there was no info. There was you get what I'm saying? There was no was he a snake? Was he a cow? Was he a cat? Was he a human? Nothing. It only talked about the conversation,
Conversation.
the challenge
Okay. My
for
point.
it was, and this what really threw me,
Okay.
and it still fucks me up to this day. Christ was on point, right?
Right.
He bounced back with the rebuttals, and then this will let you know this was really the enemy. This was the ancient one,
Mm.
Lucifer,
Mm.
creator of
Mm.
light,
His brother.
right? Right, his brother.
Right.
This will really let you know it's like that Matrix story, right?
Hmm.
Mr. Smith against
Yeah.
Neo.
Neo.
This will really let you know, like, oh, this some old ass shit. Because after Christ said all that, the enemy said, "Isn't it written
Is it
that
written?
the angels have account of you? Isn't it written that the angels have to look after you?"
He did the
And
work.
then this when Christ came back and said, "Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God."
God. Shall
So
man live by
afterwards,
shall man live by bread alone?
it was like a chess match. And when the devil said, or the powers that be said, "Well, I can't," just like Job, right? Just like many others, Samson, Samuel, and it was like the old spirit came over and said, "Oh, you're another one of those that I can't touch. I
Culture.
will fuck your world up but you have the culture of being protected.
Come on, man. Culture
So
criticism.
is it not written that the angels shall protect you?
Yep.
So and Christ was like, yeah. So the devil was like, well, throw yourself down. Let's prove it.
Yeah.
Throw yourself down. I bet you won't die.
No.
I bet you. Okay, think about the Matrix if you watch the last one, the resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Neo tried to commit suicide several times. It never happened. And he don't remember why he didn't die. Because there was always an intervention.
Right.
He couldn't die because
But,
you're the answer.
but
Right?
on the last one, remember he sacrificed himself.
Right. And Trinity died,
Right.
getting him to Machine City.
Right.
And then he was in Machine City, whooped Mr. Smith ass,
Right.
and then he dies. Well, on the resurrection, there was another program that was watching, and that was so fascinated with Neo that he wanted to learn the code. So he re-instructed and reconstructed his body so that
Mm.
he can find out what the code was.
Right.
Don't this sound familiar?
Mm.
Don't
Mm.
this sound familiar? Don't this sound
Mm.
familiar?
Mm.
We're going to crucify you. We want you to be an example. And it's going to take you about a couple of months for you to die.
Come on,
And
bro.
we're going to leave you out front so that you make
Yeah.
an example.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Come
And
on,
so what
bro.
does Christ do? Christ said, fuck you. I'm going to take my own life. And that's why Christ said, does not thou forsake me to the Father, right?
Right.
Well, they said that was the human side. Yeah, that was the human side. In my mind, real nigga talk, why I got to go out like this? All this that I've done, I got to go out like this? There was no answer. Why was there no answer? Because this your trying time.
This your
You in the Hercules stage.
yeah.
The Hercules stage is in order for somebody from a god to become a god that's half human, they have to give up their life. This is mythology in its fullness, like the great Joseph Campbell said, which George Lucas studied, and it's the basis of Star Wars.
Well,
The deity, which is always born from a holy Madonna, right? The mother of this deity. In order for them to become a deity, they have to die behind a sacrifice. And then it's when they die and resurrect that figure out that they are a demigod. But in order for them to become a demigod, they have to sacrifice themselves for something that's lesser than them.
to become a god.
There it is.
Let me ask you a question. We're talking once again. We want to thank everybody. I see the remarks and everything. We thank you. Salute to you. Let me ask you.
Salute.
Let me ask you a question, man. Why
Yes,
is
sir.
that the fact that the word that you're giving? Because once again, like I
I'm
said,
just
it's
talking shit, man. I'm just talking shit, man.
no, it's not talking shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? My guy. You know what I'm saying? It's not talking shit. Like this is real because the fact that sometimes us as humans, we need to learn that the fact that what we really do. You have a great intuition and a great teaching part of it. You know what I'm saying? Grant,
Wow.
we
Wow.
we know who Stein is or Byron. I can't even call you Byron now. It's like you missed a Hulk right now. You missed a Hulk.
There you
No,
go.
seriously. No, seriously. You know what I'm saying? I can't expect you as far as the words that you just given. Like those are the words that need to be presented to the people.
You really think so, man?
Come on, man.
Who the fuck gonna listen to me? Like,
and,
except my homies. Except my homies.
and the thing about it, it's not about religion. Like I just had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and it's not about being just religion because that's not what it's all about. Yeah, growing up Pentecostal, holiness, whatever, but it's not about that. It's not even about preaching or teaching. It's about giving people an enlightenment of who you are and what you are.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Why? What is stopping you from giving the people that's in New Mexico or just the world. Let's just say the regional, right? Let's just say the regional.
Gotcha.
Once again, like I always say, like today, and I love it. I love the segue because everything we're talking about is because it's culture criticism. Well, that's
Yes,
that's
sir.
that's a whole topic. That's 10 topics. That's a 10 topics for the next 2 months.
Yes, sir.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Culture
Yes, sir.
criticism.
Oh, we gotta stay on that one. We gotta
Yeah,
stay on that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Culture criticism. So, what is it that's stopping you from being the greatness that you are? So, I just want to know. I'm just interviewing you now. Like you interview me, now I'm interviewing you. What
Yeah.
is stopping you from being that leader? You know what I'm saying? Because you have great aspect, you have great knowledge, you have great understanding. Not only that, you know what I'm saying? Everything you just said, it makes complete knowledge and sense. Like everything you just said, bro, my guy, everything you just said, it comes from the word. So it has to be truth, right?
Yeah. I
It has
I
to be
agree with
truth.
that.
I tell people all the time, if
Even
I'm
though I'm just freestyling it off of my knowledge, but yeah, you're right.
but it's knowledge, yeah. It's about understanding. Everything that you just said, you have not lied about anything that you just said. It doesn't
I
make
appreciate
it's not a lie, or it's not uh uh, 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 it's not a fictional. Like everything I'm telling you, or what you just said, it, it's in the word of it's in the word, it's in the book. The
it.
apostle
Yeah.
Paul, the apostle Paul said this, right?
Oh, let's go.
I know. Well,
I know you. I know you know Apostle Paul. Like,
you know I love.
ladies and gentlemen, listen at this because you're gonna get a lesson. Go ahead, break it down.
When Saul was on the road to Damascus to
Oh,
persecute the children of the Christ, and the Christ said, "Boom, what what are you doing?" I'm putting it in layman
okay.
terms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm putting it in layman terms. What are you doing? Why do you continue to persecute my children just because of a name?
Right. Right.
Because of a name? First of
Right.
all, like I tell people all the time, the Jews never used the word James, so he wasn't Jesus. So let's get that straight. Let's talk about that.
Hey, so,
It's no Yeshua.
I just threw that out
All
there.
right,
Since I'm in New Mexico. Hey,
right.
so,
Jesus. But the thing about it is like, why are you? You know what? I'm gonna tell you what. Because of the fact that I'm gonna blind you for the next 3 days. The number three is important. I'm gonna blind you for the next 3 days, and you have to be carried into a city that the fact that you don't even know. And when you wake
uh,
up, go ahead.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got to cut you off with this one. You're on point.
Hmm.
A city on the path of what you was commissioned to do. What was you commissioned to do by the church? To kill,
Kill
pillage, and plunder.
the
Now keep in
city.
mind,
Yep.
Saul was such an asshole
Yep.
that wherever they went, he made the soldiers walk and he was on his horse.
Yep.
And what did it say? Knocked him slap off the horse. Man, that's a long way to fall.
Oh Lord, he said, Lord, Lord. But see, the thing about it is because Saul, he wasn't Paul's name, but Saul, he knew
Come
the
on with
law.
yes, sir.
It wasn't the fact that anytime that somebody knocked you off your horse, you consider him as a Lord.
Yeah. You knocked me off of what I thought I had tight. Like
Mhm.
this is my shit.
Yep.
You knocked me off the horse, and not only knocked me off, but the vision of
The
the
vision.
deity that did it blinded me where
Yep.
I couldn't see. And now I got a rehab to get my shit back.
Oh, that boy, I like that. Brother, that rehab.
I got a rehab.
Take me to now I gotta go to a rehab. Oh man, come on, boy.
Is that
That
not what happened? Is that not what happened, my nigga? Is that not what happened? He had to stay with some folk
he went to
for a
a
little bit.
he went to a rehab center.
Oh my God. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Oh,
He had to go to a rehab center.
oh,
In,
anybody listening to
to
this, they ain't ready for
recover.
this. They ain't ready for this.
No, he had to go to a
Come on with
rehab
it.
center to recover. And then
Oh,
once his eyes reopened, he became no longer Saul, but became Paul.
think about it. Think about what
Man,
you're saying, which is absolute. Think about what you're saying. And I'm going to say this real strongly. How the fuck can you rename yourself if your vision is the same?
ooh,
Ooh, I got chills with that one. If your vision is the same, how can you rename yourself? You stuck on yourself. It
man,
ain't until in life that we get our ass whooped, kicked, and stomped that we wake up from the ashes like a phoenix, and then we say, damn, I gotta look at this a whole nother way.
man.
And until we get our ass whooped, knocked off the horse,
Horse.
that we realize that our status never existed.
I,
Oh
I
shit, we was a guinea pig like everybody else.
I stopped being Richard a long time ago because I became Q. You stopped
Dirty.
becoming Byron because you became. Oh man!
Oh,
Oh, oh,
they
boy, you
ready.
better come on, man.
They ain't ready.
They ain't ready, man. There's not. Oh,
They ain't ready.
that rehab. You have to go to a rehab. I got blinded. We say, bro, we what they told us. Nah, y'all can't perform because we listen to your album, but y'all talking about the church.
Right. That's a whole nother image.
It's a whole different image.
Whole
We
nother
was
image.
we was Byron and Junior. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I remember one of the lines. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "How can I be a? How can I give you something in my life if I'm teaching about Christ, but you paying tithes? You know what I'm saying into your life, but you ride around here in cars, you still can't fix my life."
You can't fix my life if I'm trying to save you based on the same systemic problem. The same systemic problem is corruption.
Money.
And if I'm trying to find a way because I was taught this, but the corruption keeps showing up, and it's what you said money. Okay, watch
Money.
this. Watch this. Since we're going to get on this, man, let's say we go to the club. Some dudes come to the club and they bring up a subject I don't like. I get mad. I start turning up tables, chairs, cups. I'm going to jail, right or not?
Yeah, you're right.
If I'm black, I might get shot.
Right.
Christ went up in the temple
And that once again,
and they said, and when he noticed it was used as a selling place, he told that bitch up, right or wrong. Excuse
yep.
my language.
No, you're right.
He never went to jail. Why he didn't go to jail?
Hold
It's
on.
because of,
Hold on.
oh,
Check
go
this
ahead,
out.
go ahead,
They
go ahead.
they grabbed him and took
Uh-oh,
him to the cliff.
uh-oh.
They took him to the cliff. But what did he do? He shook him off. Get off of me. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? It was like he
Shook
always
him off.
won. They took
Well,
him to
the reason why he won is because what he say. I didn't come to change the law. I
but
came that it might be
fulfill
fulfilled.
the law.
So that means the law already existed.
This. But I'm putting everything in perspective.
There it is. Put it in perspective, put it in balance. And what I'm saying in this is,
Yeah.
in order for us as human beings that think we so deep, in order for us to go into a greater light, we thus have to lose our own identity. That's the reason why
Man.
Paul had to be knocked off the motherfucking horse,
Oh,
which his ride or die niggas that was behind him that were killed when he said kill, they was walking. See, this is what we don't want to see. We don't want to see the full picture. His home cold, stone cold soldiers that was walking was the ones that was doing his dirty work. He was only initiated. And then he saw the vision, knocked him off the motherfucking horse. He was blind for several months, and he had to rely on the motherfuckers he thought he was better than. Well, why did he thought he was better than them? Because he was a half breed. Watch that hybrid shit. That's all I'm saying to you. Watch that hybrid shit, man.
Now it's the fact that okay, what's our duties? See, that's the thing. I love that stuff. That's what I'm saying. You should be, bro. Woo!
Watch that hybrid shit. When you're a hybrid, you
Woo.
don't really know your duties. You don't really know your
The
lines of
duties,
engagement,
the
your
duties,
rules of
the duties,
engagement.
the duties. So what is my job now?
What is my job now? There it is.
The culture criticism.
Because
What is my
Paul was
job
what? He was a half breed. He was a half breed. He was half Roman and he was
as
half
Jew?
Jew, Hebrew. Matter of fact, when he didn't want to get his ass whooped one time, it's in the good book.
Oh,
The oh, you remember that, right? The
oh,
centurions came to him. They
when,
put them
when he
hands on him.
when he stood among the king and
There
said,
it is.
"Are you going to execute a Jew?"
Oh, King Agrippa. King Agrippa.
Oh,
He
come
had
on,
all
man.
the he had all the people in front of him. They were talking shit to him, all the Jews and Hebrews,
Come
and
on.
then he started speaking Hebrew and it fucked him up.
Come on.
I wasn't talking
So,
about that situation. What I'm talking about, it was one time he was trapped in jail.
yeah,
They had been trapped in jail a bunch of times, got their ass whooped.
him and
And
Timothy.
there was one time where Paul was like,
Him and
I
Timothy.
don't want to get my ass whooped today. And so the centurions come in and they ready to whoop Paul's ass, him and his momentum. And
Okay.
Paul says to them, do you dare touch a Roman citizen?
Yep.
And
Yep.
the centurions paused and it was like, you're a Roman citizen?
Whoa. Wait a minute.
He
Right.
said, yeah. They
Let me
didn't touch him at all.
let me
So
see if
what
I
does
can.
that you go ahead?
No, no, no. You good? No, I'm with you. I'm with
So
you,
what
bro.
they say is that the whole ass whooping that Paul was getting was behind redemption. He allowed it. He always knew the law. He
He
was a hybrid.
he
He
was
got
hot.
his ass whooped because he wanted to. That's different. Peter. Peter got his ass whooped because he had to follow the person he kept talking about.
Mm.
Okay, watch this. He followed to a T. The day of Pentecost happened twice.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't
Okay.
gonna, we ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there.
Okay. No, no. I want to know that.
Peter denied it because why? It was with the Gentiles. They was
Mm-hmm.
non-Jew. So
Right.
watch this. Peter felt so guilty about the way he went about things. Keep in mind, he denied his best teacher 3 times.
Right.
It took a rooster to get you, dude. A
Right.
rooster.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
let's not go there. So what happened? Peter died which way? Hanging upside
Upside
down
down. Crucified.
on
Upside
a
down.
fucking cross
Crucified. Upside
because
down.
he felt like he was not worthy enough to hang the same way of Christ.
As the Christ. Man.
Okay, watch this. It's always been about identity.
Let-
And
let-
it's always been about this flip-flop, this seesaw of who you are and what you're going to become. See, what we fight is black men, black men. I would say that particularly. I hope this is recording.
right. Record.
Is we was never taught our identity.
Let me tell y'all something, people that's watching us right now. We appreciate y'all. We thank you for listening and everything. I got to put a plug in there.
Yes, sir.
Um, QisRich@gmail.com. Music@gmail.com. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all.
Double dog dare you. Check us out.
I I I want to talk about because one, you were to me honestly, um, this Signal 7, you know what I'm saying? It's kicking
Oh
in.
shit.
I want to talk
Yeah.
about the time where I introduced when we said in Pleasant Grove. It was in Pleasant Grove. And I what you
Yeah.
do. I took you to this church, right? Remember that
St. Oh shit, that was off of St. Augustine. What part where
yeah,
you stayed?
yeah. We went to
The
this
girl,
church
yeah.
and you was great to them. Your ability, what you could provide to them was great for them. But once you started talking about the truth about
There
everything,
was this one
yeah.
old school woman.
She
And she
stood
was the prophetess of
she
the church.
yeah, she stood up and said, "That's a lie."
Don't y'all see the devil when he's in front of you? Oh
Yep.
man. On
Remember that?
Sunday morning, I'm playing the fucking organ.
Yep. Remember
I ain't
that?
trying to start no trouble. Matter
Because
of fact, it got so bad that the pastor had to say in front of the congregation, should I
yep.
call Dallas Finest?
Yep. Yep.
Meaning, should I call the police on you?
Call the police. And like we were not there to try to test their faith, but it's about and think about this. Think about this time. That was in what 2000 and what 2001, 2002.
Man, that was a long time
And,
ago. I don't even remember that a
and,
year.
here we are because remember because the organist, the original organist, we said in the truck. He talked about the Luther Vandross, right?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
knew who you were. That's the thing about it. He was the head organist. He knew who you were. We talked about the fact that he said he played for Luther Vandross. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He played for Luther Vandross. And he told us a story about Luther. You know, what he say? He said, yeah, I played for Luther. He said, I asked Luther Vandross one day, are you gay? And he was like, ask your mama if she gay. You know what I mean?
That's some gangster shit right there.
Right. But see, the thing about it, he knew who we were. And he understood who you were. Like,
Because we had, and now you say that, we had already, prior
that's,
to that, before Sunday, we had already had conversations with him
yep,
and kicked it with him.
yeah,
And that's one reason I believe why he, once the shit went down with the old school black
he
lady,
left.
that he
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 left.
jumped in. He
Yeah,
jumped in. He was like, "Oh hell no! I know these dudes. I've had
right.
conversations. I'm
And it
willing to
goes
call the police on you."
right. And it goes back to saying that the fact of culture criticism.
Ooh, there it is.
The Christ walked 7 miles with his disciples, and they did not know who he was until he sat down. Think about this. He walked with them after his death, right?
Mm-hmm.
He walked 7 miles with his people, talking. Yeah, we're on the run. We're doing this. We're doing that. But once he sat down and he broke bread, they were like, "Oh, you're the Christ." They didn't know.
And it seemed like that it was premeditated to lead up to Peter. The reason why I say that, if
Hmm.
I was start story wise, is there were several people that was getting visited,
Hmm.
including Thomas, down Thomas.
Doubted Thomas.
Christ showed him his hands in the story.
Right.
He said, "Feel me, for I am not a ghost, because I'm made of flesh and blood."
Right.
Okay. Down Thomas ended his career. He couldn't be Down Thomas no more.
Right.
Right.
Not
So, but what was special was when he came across Peter, if you read that, he enacted or reenacted when he first met Peter.
right.
Peter was busy fishing, doing his thing.
Right.
And I think, if I remember correctly, when he just heard Christ's voice, remember,
Mhm.
he hadn't seen him in a while after the crucifixion.
Right.
When he heard Christ's voice, he jumped in the water and swam to
Swim.
the bank. He jumped in the fucking water and swam to the bank
Yep.
so that he could be on the bank with Christ. Because they was fishing, doing their normal thing. They was kind of far.
Right.
But he heard Christ's voice in a way that saw him. And then he jumped in the bank. I mean, jumped in the water, swam toward, and that's when everything changed.
Mm.
Christ was periodically, when he was in this demigod mode, he was periodically transfigurating and transporting. Oh, it that's impossible. Well, how is it that you're fans of the Avengers
Hmm.
and superheroes, but you can't be just a little friendly about this story where he's transfiguring himself just so he can talk to all his homies and say, "I ain't dead."
Right. Right.
Matter of fact, the Shroud of Turin will forever be the biggest Come on, the Catholic Church released what they had under lock and key, which supposedly was the sheet that covered Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And when they put it to test, you can look this up. The face that was burnt in the cloth from blood, supposedly the fire came from within his body.
Mm-hmm.
This is real shit. This is rare. Internal combustion with human beings is rare.
Right.
This fire was so great that it was radioactive and it permanently burnt his face and the detail of who he looked like and what he was into the cloth that covered him.
Mm.
This is the Shroud of Turin. And the Catholic Church, I think it was during the 90s, finally released it to the scientists so they could test it. And it blew their fucking mind.
Mm.
How radioactive this sheet was.
Mm.
And they could not remove what had been radioactively burnt into the cloth. So indeed, there was something special. Come on, let's think about it. No bone fragment, no hair, no genetic DNA,
Right.
nothing found. That's why a lot of the anti-Christ, their biggest argument is there's no evidence he exists.
Right.
Bullshit. You don't want to read the Dead Sea Scrolls. I talked, I've had my pleasure talking to a couple of atheists and shit, and I let them talk and they do their thing, and I sit there and I smile and get them comfortable, and then they say, "Well, yeah. So why do you believe he exists?" I said, "Why do you believe that's the whole story?"
Right.
Oh, they get real quiet. You heard the Shroud of Turin? Yeah, I heard about it. Okay. Well, did you hear about his childhood? His childhood? Well, the Dead Sea Scrolls, there's a whole book about Jesus Christ's childhood. What the fuck you mean? Oh, really? You ain't heard about the story where he's with his friend and they was playing as kids and he accidentally killed his dog, and then the friend was like, "We can't go back home." And then Christ's like, "Oh, I got this." So what he does, he resurrects his friend's dog so they don't get in trouble.
Yeah. He won't get in trouble.
A whole ministry came from Mary Magdalene. The book of Enoch is way more thicker than what we read.
Right.
There was a lot more shit happen when he got abducted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man. They only told us about the white men like Magellan, Da Vinci, that disappeared for like 2 or 3 years, went to a cave, and then they come back and they can draw the human body, pure design. They was drawing all this stuff. And we was only taught, no, this was happening all over the world.
All over the world.
After, watch this, after the date supposedly that Christ got crucified and finally gave up.
Yeah. Man.
So, listen, identity is everything. But I say this before I get off hot topics. For my people and for our people, your people, and for our people, you need to realize what lens you're looking through. And what I mean by that, are you looking at water or are you looking at space? Because if you're looking at water, light bends.
Wow.
Right or wrong. You go right to the shore of a river, the bank, and you stick a stick through it, and then you look at it, and the stick look like it's broke. Well, the stick look broke because our eyes only work with reflection. So you have three degrees of eyesight. You started
that 3D.
The 3D.
Yes,
you have 3 IDs. Oh, don't get me started on that. I explain that another time. 3D. It's a beautiful mind fuck. But anyway, your eyes only see kind of as humans. It see reflection. That's how our eyes are based on.
Right.
Right. Our eyes receive the light. The light goes to the back of our eyeballs, and the image that we see is in backwards. And then it's up to our brain to then reverse it and interpret it.
And reflect it. Yep.
There it is.
Come on, man.
Okay. But the only way we can really see true sight is we have to have reflection,
Yeah.
right? So, in other words, the light that's been sent out, it has to be bounced back in the right angle for us to see it correctly. Watch this. But if you look through water, the light diffracts. That's another word. And when light diffracts, that means it bends. So then when it reflects back, it's not reflected back to our eyes in the fullness thereof. So it looked like it's bending. And we take the stick back out of water and it's straight. And we stick it back in the water and we're looking at it and it looks bent. And we're like, what the fuck?
Mm.
It's your receiving of the light information, right? You're not receiving 100% of the reflection.
Right.
Watch this. The cut is cut to cut. Uh-oh.
Mm.
Dope ain't the same.
The cut is cut to cut.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
You ain't gonna get the same product, right? So now you're confused. You say, okay, the light's bent, the stick looks bent, but when I take it out of the water, it's not. It's called
Mm.
refraction. Watch this. It gets even freakier than this. You are recording this, right?
Yeah, I'm recording. I'm recording
Okay,
everything.
I'm gonna leave it alone after this and go re-up on a couple more beers. But this is what I'm saying with this. What's freakier than that is the refraction of light. Oh, this does us. This fucks us
Mm.
up. The refraction of light is when light is being absorbed, so it never bounced back. So instead of a reflection, a rebound, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a refraction, half of that, then you have what's called absorption. And what that means is what our government been working with, the reabsorption of light. That's why you have radar resistant material because they paint a special material over these certain aircraft that don't allow light to bounce back. So guess what happens? Radar can't pick you up.
Right.
Nothing reflects back to it.
Mm.
Watch this.
Mm.
Whatever that don't reflect back, it looks like a silhouette. Or it looks like it's not even there. It's what we call invincible.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. It ain't that it doesn't exist.
Self mode.
It just, there it is. It
Self.
don't reflect back to our eyes to gain data. And this what I'm saying in this is that with all our understanding, what the good book say, with all the understanding, get it.
Good
With
enough.
all that getting, get it understanding. Okay. With all your gathering, in order for you to get understanding, is you got to understand the specifics of what you gathered and how it behaves. A lot of times we gather things, and because it maybe refract light or maybe absorb it, our whole understanding of it is fucked up.
Mm. Man, that's deep. That is
I'll leave it at that, man. I'll
no,
leave it
that
at that.
that is deep. Like that
I,
is man, that is so deep. You know, we
I
gonna
thought it went left, but really it went right.
yeah, man, listen, man. We tonight we appreciate y'all everybody that came on tonight. Uh,
Appreciate y'all.
Me and Stein, we're gonna sit down and talk. Why the fact that he don't have his own coat.
Hey, what we say? Watch this again. Watch it again. Watch it
Watch it
again.
again. You
Hey,
gotta watch it again. Like, listen, I don't need to watch. I'm watching it over and over again. But
there it
this
is.
right here, man, this is one of the deepest. I think that we're gonna continue on and focus on culture criticism.
I love it.
Culture
Powerful.
criticism. This is
Powerful.
this has been one of the biggest nights that I think that we can take. We appreciate everybody. Um, I just want to ask you one question before I leave.
All right.
Um, if you're able to, if you're able to take over a certain part of life, a people's life, because people are like they're looking for change.
Yeah.
What could you?
Especially in this day and time. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, because we still got COVID. They have what is called a monkey. They got a monkey disease right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, what can you do, or what can we do to help our people, not just God's people, but our people. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting a lot of remarks and everything, getting a lot of returns and everything. what can we do to help our people to move to the next level and help them?
That's a good question. And the first thing that come to my mind, the first thing that I saw when you asked me that, I saw an incandescent light, and then I saw an LED light. And keep in mind that Edison was one of the most brilliant Caucasian inventors of our
Okay.
lifetime. But he's the one that brought Tesla over,
Te-
who
Tesla, right?
had the inside track on AC, right?
Hmm.
Who we still use his fucking technology to this day. He created this in the 30s.
Right.
Now, watch this. Edison was so stuck on the style of illumination that it made him a bad businessman.
Hmm.
Tesla the same way. Even though he went to the other company and the war of the currents. Anyway, let me jump back on subject. Your question. This is my thing. Condensate LED. This is my thing. I think we're still stuck on condensate.
Okay.
And I think the reason why that we can't be fully illuminated is because of the energy dispensation that's happening with condensate light. Well, what's the biggest problem with condensate light? The bulb gets hot,
Right.
more energy dispersed.
Right.
The bulb cannot truly show white or color. It always give off this side effect of a yellow hue, so it alters our view. I think that in this day and time, good question you asked me, is I think it's our time. It's the conversion time, baby. It's our time to convert from condensate to LED.
Right.
What does LED means? Light emitting diode.
Mm.
What makes that special?
Wow. I
It
never
don't
knew
give off any heat. And it's because the whole basis of what light is. Light is a side effect. That's our problem. We ain't gonna go there. That's another show.
that. Man.
Light is a side effect. What is it a side effect of? It's a side effect of protons. What they mean? Protons, when they get in motion, like the way we do when we start working a lot, we start doing this thing called sweating, right?
Right.
It's a side effect, perspiration. Well, photons, when they work a lot, they perspire. The side effect of it is light. So
Mm.
what whoever that created LED, what they realize is if we just keep them in its natural state, then we can create light just off the side effect. If we do that, there's less heat involved.
Right.
That's why LED is the most efficient at this time period because it's a natural thing when you shoot current through these certain materials and these certain atmospheric things, right? That the side effect, instead of heat, instead of water, which we call sweat, is just pure light.
Mm.
Light emitting diode. Let me say this before I jump off. You're a follower of the light, right?
Right.
You're a follower of the illumination. You're a part of Illuminati. But are you condensate or are you LED?
Mm. Mm.
I'm gonna leave it like that
Mm.
for the folk.
Somebody just asked me, I don't get, why are you not? Why you don't have your own ministry?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. They talking about you, right? Why you don't have your own ministry? I've been saying that for a while. Why Q don't have his own ministry?
I guess they
They
asked
talking
both.
about you, right?
I guess they asked both of us.
Listen, all I can say with that is I talk too crazy. Q is the perfect dude for that because he just have a way of delivering things and people listen to him. I will admit that.
No.
The way I deliver shit is straight alien, and so I get more arguments than I get more fights than anything. I
Well,
think you're the perfect guy for that job.
I think that so we build something together for years. Me personally, I feel like this, and we're gonna end this on a personal note. I think that we build something great. We build something great because we don't. we you for me personally, as I say all the time, they got them 7 and 7. Me personally, I feel like that you are. I learn a lot from you. I learn a
Same here,
lot.
brother. Same here.
I learn
Same
a
here
lot,
with you.
and I
Yes, sir.
appreciate that. Because sometimes in life, life, man, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like we already know. Well, for me, I already know I'm a self-made millionaire,
Yes,
and
sir.
where I go, you go. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I remember telling Etta Lacey, right? I came back from San Angelo. I came back and I told Etta Lacey, you know, we was outside. We was outside talking, me and Pastor Lacey, Etta Lacey. And he was like, how you doing? I'm good. Everything. I'm non-denomination and everything. I don't believe in this. And Pastor Lacey, to this day, I remember that conversation. He was like, well, we're non-denomination as well. Then back in my mind, I'm thinking like, nah, you know what I mean? No, you're not. But I remember I told him, I said, this is what I told him. I said, it has to go from being eating beans and eating filet mignon.
Ooh, ooh, woof. Ooh.
I told him that personally. I said, not to say anything about house refuge and everything. I get it.
And they both beef. And they both beef.
They both beat. But I told him, I said, but the thing about it is, like, it's not the fact that I continue to say this all the time. Y'all teach about Jesus walking on the water, but my learning is why did Jesus walk on the
What? Oh, how about you gotta say that. You gotta say that for another show. Ladies and gentlemen.
water?
Ladies and gentlemen. That's why you gotta tune in. You gotta stay tuned, cause man, we got some shit cooking up for your ass.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother show right there. I like that.
Y'all teach about walking. Y'all teach about the Christ walking on the water, but I'm
Okay.
about why did the Christ the purpose. It's all about purpose.
Come on with it.
Why you know what I'm saying? Like y'all teach about the Christ telling Peter to put his net on the other side, but I'm about why did the Christ teach about why did he? Because he had to prove something. It was about a purpose. I could
That's
t-
special. Yes,
like,
sir.
like I told somebody. I said the thing about it was with I'm gonna let this go. When Christ told Peter, because keep in mind they just met, so I gotta prove to you who I am.
There
They
it is.
just met.
Pretty harsh the way he proved it. I mean, knocking him out of his horse, blinding him.
We talking about
He
Peter.
came hardcore with it.
Now we talking about Peter
Oh,
when he
you said
first
Peter. Okay,
Peter.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, Peter.
yeah.
I'm
When
sorry.
when he when he first met Peter,
Yeah,
he said,
sorry.
let me go to what y'all doing? What's up? Hey, what's up? What y'all doing? We about to go fishing. See, let me ride with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a master fisherman. I'm over a game that you got both of my brothers,
This is what
who
Peter
my
was
brothers
saying.
told me about you.
Yo, let me rock with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me rock, see what you're all about.
We've been here all day. We ain't caught nothing. Well, I tell you what, catching that on the other side.
The other side. This is what's so freaky about this. Man, you gonna instigate this? I ain't gonna even get started on that. That's a whole nother show. We got to learn how to separate our shows for the folk.
We do. We
Man,
do.
hey, at least we recorded this because that's a whole other show. But I would say this, and then I jump off.
Love it. I love it.
It's 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 not about if you go to the ancients from India to Asia
Hmm.
to Australia, which is considered one of the oldest continents
Hmm.
compared to Africa. When you
Hmm.
go back to all these different systems,
Right.
it's not about the person, it's about the
Mm.
delivery. It's not even about the idea. It's
Mm.
about the delivery
Come
and
on.
how they did it. And what I say, what to me, what stood out to me about Christ was the fact that in 2.5 years, you wreaked havoc, but you wreaked havoc in a way to where Rome, who was a killer,
Mm,
didn't kill you. Come on, man. If you go back through that Bible, it wasn't like he was just hiding out. He was just moving around a lot.
right.
He wasn't hiding out. Why is it that Rome didn't kill him? Because he never broke a Roman law.
No,
What
never.
got him killed is when his people found a little loophole, and the loophole was sedition against the government.
Right.
What was deemed on the ribbon that was put on the cross that he was put on, Zelios. Zelios, what Zelos or whatever. Basically, what it comes to is Zelios means sedition against the government.
Right.
And they replaced him with the dude that was guilty of it named Barabbas. Remember that?
Right. Yep.
Barabbas was part of the gang that Peter was a part of.
Oh, no. That's
Oh, man.
it.
The Zealots. Oh, wait. Let's say
Yep.
that for another show.
Yeah.
Let's remind the
Hold
people,
on,
and then
hold
I'll
on.
let you close. I'm gonna let you close it out. Let's remind the people with the question you asked me when it comes to light.
Right.
Either you incandescent, look that up, or either you LED.
Right. It's
Which
so
one is it?
it's so powerful. It's so powerful. Like, are you a power? Are you a part of the power? Or you a power? Or you are part of the pilot?
Oh, there it is. I
When
like
I say that, are you a part of the? Are you a part of the money, or you're a part of the power? Because money in the U.S. money prints 365 days every day, and it prints 24/7. But
Ladies and
in
gentlemen, my
but
man said this every day.
I do
And you're absolutely right. Money print
every day.
24/7.
It's paper.
There it is.
The power creates the paper. All right, my brother, to the heart. So let's get it in, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get it in. I love you. I appreciate you, man. We did this to our people. We love y'all. My
Love y'all,
brother,
man. Salute.
salute. Double. Listen, it's a double. How many arms I got? I got 3 or 4 arms right now.
Uh,
Salute to the people.
salute.
We love
There it is.
y'all.
Love y'all.
We want y'all to make sure that you have your money and everything, get your game up and everything. It's time. You gotta get it, bro. And we'll
Listen,
get it. Listen to the heart, man.
they just got to tune in next time, right?
Oh man, next time we're gonna be great.
Tune in, tell other people, bro, this shit out. Let's go. Let's
Oh
go.
man,
Bro, this
criticism.
shit out.
Listen, criticism, culture over criticism. What we doing? We
I mean,
love y'all.
I mean, culture is better, but I
Culture,
like what you said. Culture or criticism.
culture over criticism. What we doing?
Let them decide. There it is.
To the heart, man. Yeah, you be blessed, brother. We love
You
y'all.
too.
Salute to you.
Love y'all. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned to the next one.
There it is.